Hello YouTube, this is Dan from Zombie Nation, excuse me. Out here at the campground again, and I am smoking some Escudo, Navy Deluxe, correct, and my Sheleleigh Falcon. The Escudo is tinder dry, barely get it to pack. I'll probably go through this bowl in 5 minutes. Pretty good tobacco. I'd get it if I were you. So I think I left off my little tale of the military in Hawaii. When I was in Hawaii, I was started off only an E2 in the Air Force as an intel guy. So I got to work the fun shift. I worked 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. with Tuesday and Thursday off. But that wasn't too bad, because I soon learned that when you have Tuesday and Thursday off, you get the beaches to yourself. Well, quite a bit to yourself, at least on the North Shore. There's always the die-hard surfers out there who don't seem to ever have a job. But it's pretty cool. The place I worked at was called the Kinea Tunnel. It was part of a tunnel system on Oahu, and it was basically roughly a 4-story building underground. The tunnel going down into the building was a 1/4 mile long. And it was underneath the Dole pineapple field. Pretty overwhelming at first. You know, you're really, even though I was 26 and I've been out on my own for a while, being thousands of miles away in a place you're totally unfamiliar with, knowing very few people, if any, first time gets very daunting. But it turned out okay. I had a good time there, other than when the relatives kept visiting when we lived off base. After Hawaii, we moved to a place called Fort George G. Meade in Maryland. It's right in between Baltimore and Washington, D.C. There's a agency station there, their headquarters, that became really famous in movies in the 90s and 2000s and even a little today. It's called NSA, National Security Agency. By this time I was a senior airman in E4 and got to work for them. When I first got there, it was a little different. When I checked in, they gave me 3 places to look at. I could have worked in either of the 3 places, or that was the idea. So they let me go, and I interviewed with the people there to see which one wanted me. All the jobs are so compartmented and classified, they couldn't tell me anything about them. So I really didn't have any backgrounds to make a decision on. So I just looked at the schedule. And the one that had the schedule that I liked the best, I chose that one. Can't tell you what I did there. I was there for 2 years. Pretty crappy part of my life. We had our first child when I was in Hawaii. Moved to Maryland. My wife had postpartum blues very, very, very bad. So I was working full-time with the Air Force. I also had another full-time job. So I was working a minimum of 80 hours a week. My wife wasn't working. Every time I'd come home, she'd throw the baby at me. Say, I've watched her all day, it's your turn. Which I didn't mind. I did, but I didn't. Would have been nice to get some sleep, but That little girl, I enjoyed being around her, going to the parks and stuff. Sorry about the crackling noise. This stuff is so dry I can't pack it right. Anyway, while I was out there, me and my wife got separated. She moved back to where I'm from, or where we're from, for about 9 months or so. We got back together again, though. While we're out there, we visited Washington, D.C., the national park there, the monument. It's in Congress and Senate and the White House. So the Vietnam War Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Went up to Gettysburg, visited that site. Wasn't bad. So, at 1 year, 364 days, we left. My next assignment was Alaska. The 381st Intelligence Squadron on Elmendorf Air Force Base. We got there in January. We took a ferry up there from Seattle, so we drove from Maryland to Illinois. Stayed over there for about a month, visiting family. And we drove the rest of the way to Seattle. At Seattle, we jumped onto a ferry. It took us up to Whittier, Alaska. Well, when we got to Whittier, we disembarked, and there was snow everywhere. There were whiteout conditions, couldn't even see. And we had a two-wheel drive truck. Pardon me, we didn't have that. I forgot. That was the second time. First time we flew up there. Had one car shipped. That was the owner of the campground. We moved to this place off base called Alpine Apartments, about 4 miles from base. It was alright. There was a washer and dryer in the apartment complex, not in our actual apartment. After living there about 6 months, we moved on base. Nice little, I believe it was a 2-bedroom. Kind of like an apartment on base. Condo type of thing. There we worked at the 31st Intelligence Squadron. Right up in here somewhere. I'll get a picture of that. Might put one up of Kenia also. But the 31st, we had a big antenna array right outside the building. It took up 40 acres. Called the Flare 9 antenna. It was affectionately called the Elephant Cage. We did a lot of exploring up there. Bear hunting, camping, in a tent. Several other things, but I'll get to that next time. I'm getting close to 10 minutes. Anyhow, I'm glad you're all watching. I hope everybody's okay. As far as here, it's a little bit cloudy and overcast today. But it's a good time. I hope y'all have a great day. I'll catch you next time.